and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played... They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
He'll get it up the middle. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they move the chains. He had the big touchdown run on the first drive and more room to maneuver right there.
And the big guys up front, they're feeling chesty and strong, creating nice openings for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
All right, now here we go, Will. Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tackle made by Marcus Golden.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now running right through it.
Another miss.
Still, there he goes left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Not a lot of dance steps in that run. That's much more like being that bowling ball, just going down and scattering some pins, breaking through contact, breaking through tackles, and he knows how to finish a run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never...
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly to do. Even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with a...
But you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 33 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs. Play.
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, good move. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's to the 10. And he's brought down after a good game. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights through and now a crease. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, no, easy. Hey, Ken.
And they'll run it here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing his way through. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. After the broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he's brought down after a good gain. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting